Now, when you're using a chop saw or a crosscut saw, it's very important that you have the right type of blade, both for performance and for safety. There's basically two types of blade. The first is called a positive rake blade, like this one here. If we radiate a line out from the centre, you'll notice there that the tip of the blade tilts forward 15 degrees, as you can see there. Now, the action of that blade, obviously the tip catches the timber first and it cuts inward, so that's that one there. Normally associated with a table saw for general purpose and for cross-cutting, that's that one. The second type of blade then is the opposite of that, and that's what's called, this one is called a negative rake blade. So in this case here, same thing again, we have a centre line radiating out, and if you look at this one, you'll notice that the tip is actually tilting back 5 degrees. Now that's the one we would normally use in a chop saw or a crosscut saw. The action on this one starts in here at the bottom of the tip and goes outward. So the inside of the tip, or the lower part of the tip, will strike the wood first and cut outwards. That gives a shear-like action, much smoother, less danger of kickback, and a much safer blade to use in your chop saw or your crosscut saw. So when it comes to choice for myself, that's the one I would always use. Since they came into vogue or came into popularity, that's the blade I would use, a negative rake. Now I'm just talking about the chop saw or the crosscut saw there. On the table saw, I would normally use a positive rake blade. So this is a 60 tip. I would use that for fine work. If I want to use rough work, I'd normally have a 48 tip in my crosscut saw, and when I have plain stuff and it's finished, I would normally be chopping with that one, which is a 60 tip. Now, just to recap, if I'm using a positive rake blade like this, this is the one I would be choosing for my table saw, maybe in a 48 tip or a 60 tip, depending on what I'm doing. So that's that one, 15-degree tilt. And then in my chop saw and my crosscut saw, I would have a similar setup. For doing fine work on my chop saw there, plain material, etc., I'd be using the -5 60 tip blade there in my chop saw. When I'm cutting, cross-cutting rough wood in my crosscut saw there, I would normally have a 48 tip. Now I hope that helps you. Happy woodworking. Always be able to count to 10, lads. Take care. Bye for now. See you in the next video.